The 3Daddy podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. If you want to learn how you can support the three greasy daddies, head to patreon.com/Mavizzle. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mavizzle. We got the lovely Dirt Riffs over here, and we got Craw Daddy, Craw Daddy, Andrew 373 down here in the window underneath us tonight. But yeah,
y'all want to see why they call me Craw Daddy now?
Yeah, do it. Do the Brandon Lee Crow.
Check out this lens. Look at this fucking lens, yo. Fucking the past year, we've been growing this shit
Let's
out.
go.
That's the Craw Daddy.
Craw Daddy.
Damn. Yeah. He's gonna come back from the dead to avenge his girlfriend. That's what happened in The Crow, right?
Yeah, that was the main plot of The Crow.
Yeah. Oh, I know you know the main plot because you are the Crow.
Dude, for real, I'm fucking Brandon Lee.
Dude, isn't that fucked up how he died too? Like Brandon Lee, they had like a fucking
He died on set.
Yeah, he died on set for The Crow 2, City of Angels, and fucking they had like, what was it? It was like one of the guns they thought had a blank in it.
Yeah.
And it had a real bullet, and they shot him in the fucking chest, man.
It's a damn shame.
That's terrible. Well, rest in peace to Brandon Lee.
Unforgivable.
Here we are with another episode of the 3Daddy podcast. I'm your boy Mavizzle, and we're all here for another week, and I want to say thanks to everybody that has been tuning into this podcast. The reception has been fucking insane. We got these guys are about to be upgraded next week with some higher quality cameras. You can see we have the new intro now. We have the background. We're going to be legit. We're going to be the real deal pretty soon. We just got to get the microphone over to Craw Daddy and the cameras to these guys. So I'm thinking in the next couple weeks, you're going to see a big bump up in our quality. And yeah, man, fuck. The reception's been great. We hit 100 views on episode 2.
Thank you, guys.
And so that means you got to do it, Andrew.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it? Yeah, there was something. I forgot it. What is it?
It was if we hit 100 views, he has to whack off on his own toes.
Oh yeah, I think it was something like that. That's hardcore, bro.
Dude, that's pretty intense. I don't think we could show that on YouTube. We could show it on the Patreon.
Yeah, it'll have to be a Patreon exclusive video. If you want to see Andrew whack off on his own toes, fucking, we'll put it over there. We'll put it on the Patreon.
While he does it too. Yeah, we'll talk to him. We'll have a conversation. It'll be
Yeah.
You're gonna have to subscribe at like a ungodly tier though, because like right now we have the $3 tier where you get the podcast, early, a week early every week, and then we have the $5 tier, which is a fucking we say your name at the end of every podcast, like all of us in unison at the same time. No, that sounds like too much work. But I'll read off all the names of all of our producers. That's our producer tier. And then our highest tier that we currently have is called the Tape of the Month Club. And I'm really excited about that one. Nobody has signed up for it yet. So every month. So Tape of the Month Club is you give us $20, you get early access to everything. We say your name at the end of the podcast, and fucking every month, me, Dirt Riffs, and Craw curate one cassette tape, and it rotates. We curate one cassette tape, and then they get a copy of that cassette tape with all the other bonuses as well. So you kind of get your value's worth because tapes are expensive now. They're like 14 fucking bucks. So
yeah.
And we all listen to good music. So if you are a crossover death metal head fan that found out about us that way, that's your tier right there, Daddy.
Truth.
But yeah, fucking who knows? Maybe we'll open up $100 every month. Craw Daddy whacks it on camera, for everybody or something. We'll see. Do you want to see that? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, it could even be like a thing where you pick the topic we talk about. While he's whacking off on his feet.
I can't do it. I can't let people pick the topic because then people are gonna be fighting. Say we get 1,000 people subscribing at $100, and they're all fighting over the topics. We have to go over 1,000 topics a week.
Truth.
Or the list just gets so big that we never get through it, and then people drop off, and then they sue us, or they they file PayPal claims because they're like, they didn't talk about what I talked about. That's too much power.
Nobody wants that.
No thanks.
But
the prisoners running the asylum.
Yeah, you can't.
That's what's happening right now.
This is the dumpster. Yeah, this pretty much is, man.
This is the Trainwreck Dumpster Fire podcast, remember?
Yep. Brought to you by train wrecks all around the world. And fucking my office is a fucking mess right now. I just want to say that to everybody. You can probably see all the just random shit and stools in here.
It's a sign of being a genius.
Yeah. Well,
my desk is the same way.
That's what hoarders say. Like,
told you that?
That's a cop out. Fucking my room is just a mess right now because it's Christmas and I'm just getting packages in and I have no CD storage. So if anybody wants to recommend some good CD storage for me, let me know. Currently, this is my CD storage just in a pile, fucking on this stool. So I need to figure out, where I'm gonna be putting that shit. But
that's all of them.
Bear with me until well, no, I have more over here too. I have CDs all over the place. My fucking son, man, he came in and just started throwing them everywhere. Like it was just like he was looking at each one and then throwing it. At first I was like, cool, and then he's trying to step on them. I'm like, no. Like you can break those. So
you've gone too far, friend.
Yeah. I'm like, just fuck with the tapes because he hasn't figured out there's like tape in there he can pull out, so I kind of trust him more with those. But yeah, fuck I'm feeling pretty good this week, man. Last episode went really fucking well, and we got some really cool topics this week that we're going to get into, and I feel like our 3 topics, well, we have 2 topics that kind of go hand in hand, and
mine's the one that's just out of place. But yeah, we're going to somehow find a way to like fit it in together.
Yeah, always. We'll find a way. I think we should start with Dirt Riffs topic. And then work our way counterclockwise again, like we did last week. And I think, I think that's how I can't even remember the way we did it. Yeah, I think we did do it that way.
Well, the topic I brought to the table today, Daddies, it's fast food. Ooh, I'm a big fan of fast food, and I feel like it's kind of a topic where you can get really every walk of life to have an opinion on it, and also, people are going to hate it. People are going to love it. People are going to be indifferent. People are going to be like, oh, I only eat it when I'm near it or when I'm really, really, you know what I mean? There's going to be so many different opinions on it. Myself, I'm a big fan of it. I love it. I know it's horrible for me, but I love it. But I want to know what you guys think of fast food. And I want to know what everybody's favorite, you're on the road and you look and you're ready to stop for food. You see what's the stop that you stop for? No matter what, you got to stop for it. I got to know that too.
Okay. Well, overall, I would say every now and then I'm a fan of fast food. I won't have it like regularly on a constant basis, but when I do, my go-to is Texas Best Whataburger.
Oh, see, we just got an In-N-Out burger here, and it's kind of it's the first In-N-Out burger in Idaho. And it's kind of a big deal. I mean, I guess a lot of people have been sitting in line for like 4 to 8 hours for In-N-Out.
For In-N-Out.
And me being from like Sacramento and shit, I've had In-N-Out tons of times, and it's great, and I love it. But I feel like here's my thing with In-N-Out now. I feel like it's all nostalgia for me, maybe, because I grew up eating it, and when I have it, I feel like a kid again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have had Whataburger, and Whataburger is delicious.
Oh yeah, that's
basically the same thing, but it's delicious.
Yes, sir.
It's like I feel like there's In-N-Out, and then when the In-N-Out fans grow up and they have Whataburger, then they know. You know what I mean? It's one of those if you know things.
I think that I mean, let me weigh in on this. The ultimate fast food restaurant is In-N-Out. It's not worth waiting 4 hours for. It's maybe worth waiting 20 minutes for, if the line is like that.
I'd say 30.
Yeah, nothing beats a double animal style with French fries, regular French fries on the side. They just added cherry Coke to their menu. I like them. Here's what I like. All right, so I want to tell you, like, when it comes to fast food, like, there's 3 burgers that really come to mind that are fucking great. And it's In-N-Out, it's Shake Shack.
Ooh,
and yeah,
dude.
Shake Shack, and then it's fucking
Big Mac.
Five Guys.
Five Guys?
Yeah, Five Guys is great. Now, here's the problem though with both of these, with 2 of these restaurants, is the fucking price. I go as a single person, like, to get some food. I go by myself on a lunch break to Shake Shack. It's $30 fucking dollars. For I get a burger, fries, and a shake, right? Because it's Shake Shack, right? They're charging me like $10 for this fucking shake, and they're charging me like $9 for this little fucking burger, and that's like a double burger, whatever. And then you go to Five Guys, and they're charging $16 for a double cheeseburger. They're charging $20 for a double with bacon. There's actually like a joke, and it says, what can you get at Five Guys for $5? You can get the fuck out, is what you can get at Five Guys, because it's so fucking expensive, and it's just ridiculous. And I have a personal vendetta. Well, actually, not me. My wife has a personal vendetta against Five Guys because we ordered it from DoorDash, and her double cheeseburger showed up missing the fucking top bun.
No way.
How do you forget?
They Mickey Moused her sandwich.
How do you forget the fucking bun?
No,
like,
shirt,
how fucking high do you have to be on your shift at Five Guys? And if Five Guys is hiring degenerates like this that are missing the top bun, do they have a right to charge $20 for this fucking thing?
In all fairness, I can't even come up with anything valid. No, I'm sorry. Maybe it was their first. Maybe it was the first burger they ever made. I don't know.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
No, and
like, I know I'm forgetting something.
And all right, so here's something even weirder about Five Guys. They have like beef with people that are allergic to peanuts. Like, if you're allergic to peanuts, you can't even walk into a fucking Five Guys. So they're charging $20 for these burgers. They're saying fuck you to people that are allergic to peanuts. They're hiring crackheads that are missing the top fucking bun on the fucking burger. That's 3 strikes. Like, I'm not going to Five Guys. And the only saving grace that will keep me going to Five Guys, if say I have a amount of money to where I have fuck you money, and I'm like, I can afford Five Guys. The only reason I will choose Five Guys is because I can add jalapenos and fucking A1 steak sauce to my burger. And that's the only place that does that. And A1 steak sauce is not that expensive if you're getting it for a restaurant. They're getting it in giant tubs, so I just got to lay that out there. Now, In-N-Out Burger is great because it's consistent everywhere you go. I've never had a shitty In-N-Out experience. The only complaint that I've ever had is that the fries were too salty. That's my only gripe. And I usually order no salt because there's an ungodly amount of sodium in fast food. And that's another topic that I want to touch on too. Or not topic, but that's another thing I want to bring up about fast food is this shit is so fucking unhealthy. And I didn't realize this shit until I got into my later 20s. But the problem with fast food is mainly the sodium at all of these restaurants. Like, some people go to Taco Bell, and I remember, what was her name? Nicole Richie. That was like Paris Hilton's homegirl on that one show they did. Yeah, right. Nicole Richie. But so fucking Nicole Reach around.
Richie's daughter.
She was trying to lose weight, and she said she was told by her. I read this like in a fucking stupid fucking magazine, one of those like teen something magazines, like when I was a kid, or it might have been Maxim magazine. But like they said, her personal trainer told her she could, as long as she works out every day and eats a good diet, she can eat Taco Bell once a week. And I was like, Taco Bell, like fucking that shit like doesn't even fill you up. And hella people say it gives them the shits. I've never gotten the shits from Taco Bell. But I want to say this about Taco Bell. They are the worst when it comes to fucking they're the absolute worst when it comes to fucking doing high sodium in their shit. Like one bean and cheese burrito has like 1,200 milligrams. And I'm talking about dollar menu bean and cheese burrito. It has sodium. Like in between 900 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium, and the daily recommended maximum amount of sodium that a adult male that's 150 pounds plus or whatever is supposed to consume is fucking, I think it's like 11 or 1,200. So think back to any time you went to Taco Bell and knocked back 3 cheesy bean and rice burritos.
You tried to kill yourself.
There is a stroke. There is a stroke warning on the menu. There is a warning. Like if you go on the app, it's like in red right before you place your order. After you pick your items, it says warning: the high sodium content in this, and it's fucking insane. Like, why do they have to put this insane amount of salt in their food? Does that mean that without this much salt, it would taste like shit?
Okay, but here's the thing. It's accelerated cuisine, friend. It's supposed to be bad for you. It's not supposed to be good. Like, think about it. How often do you? So let's just say a McDonald's turns into an all like vegetable place. You know what I mean? They have only like fucking healthy food, right? That food's gonna go bad so fast.
It's so to preserve the unhealthy food and to cut corners. So
I'm a big McDonald's advocate. I love it. It's delicious. I don't care how bad it is for me. I love it. If I could, I'd eat it 52 times a year, without a doubt. Here's the thing, though. With fast food, that stuff is like genetically made in scientifically made in laboratories to taste a certain way.
But not In-N-Out Burger. It's not fresh. They have motherfuckers.
That's the other thing I'm curious about. Where's the line? See, In-N-Out, I wouldn't necessarily consider fast food. Is it fast? Yes. Is it food? Yes. But is it like step above quality-wise? Oh, most definitely.
In-N-Out Burger is what McDonald's used to be. So you ever seen that movie, The Founder?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That movie's so fucking stupid. That guy was a piece of shit. And I don't know if that story... Oh, it was, dude. Yeah, I mean, I liked it.
A great story.
But it's like, I feel like In-N-Out is what McDonald's originally was, because what they did is they said, hey, let's make this kitchen and it's going to have good ingredients, but basic ingredients or whatever, like that you'd find at a restaurant, but we are going to fucking make this shit like an assembly line for this shit. And it's going to be fast. And back then the burgers were like normal size. Like basically when I go to In-N-Out, I'm like, the only difference is the sauce, the spread that they put on. But it's like, if you get a basic cheeseburger, like the way that they did it at McDonald's, at In-N-Out, that's probably what it used to be like. And that's why it got so popular. And the problem is that the motherfucker had a decision. He said, hey, I can make it about quality. Because if you remember, the big issue that the guy that acquired them or whatever, that helped them blow up the business, their biggest concern was quality control. And he said, fuck this. We're just going to buy all sorts of real estate alongside the freeways of the U.S. And we're just going to make money off of that. They make more money off of real estate than they do off the actual burgers and food. Like, it's... Yeah, and that's a shame. But I feel like that's what's cool about In-N-Out Burger is that they still... Like, I feel like all the In-N-Out burgers are damn near... like right next to fucking freeway exits. And it's funny because I identify them that way when I'm on the road. Like if I'm in a pinch and I need to eat something, because I'm on the road a lot, and I'll just swing by a fucking In-N-Out, and it's bad. It's addictive almost. Like I'll eat at In-N-Out 2 times a week, and it's so bad for me. Like I know it's not healthy. That's a fucked up thing, but it's healthier than the other options. If there was a fucking fast food salad place, like you said, that had that shit, I would be eating there motherfucking 7 days a week, bro, because I wouldn't feel like a piece of shit like I currently do. I feel like a train wreck, dumpster fire.
How do you know it wouldn't turn?
How do you had to throw in the dumpster fire there?
God, you caught me off guard with that one. I love that shit. How do you know they wouldn't end up doing the same thing that fast food places do now, though? That's what I'm saying. Like, what if they're like, well, I guess I don't know. Like, what
That's
if they
what I'm
had
saying.
like?
All right, you remember
Do
Fresh
you
Choice?
see what I'm getting at? Yeah, I do remember Fresh Choice.
I wish Fresh Choice didn't shut down, and that goes
Is that
to
like
prove
the same thing as like Schwann's?
No, well, I don't know what a Schwann's is. That sounds pretty gangster.
Schwann.
It's the
I know
food
the
truck.
Schwann, but I don't know Schwann.
It's the food truck thing that shows up to your house and you buy the food from the frozen food truck or whatever.
What? I never heard about that.
My parents used to do that a long time ago.
No. Fresh Choice is a fucking buffet, bro. It's like a sizzler.
That's right. You're right. Okay.
And when you go there, it's they shut them down. They shut them all down a while back. But you go in there and your first thing you get is a salad. And it's everybody has to get a salad. You pay, you get a plate, and you go down this massive salad bar. You can't take a second trip to the salad bar. Now, all the other shit that they have pasta, they have like shitty pizza, they have like fucking ice cream, and then they have like fucking soup, and that's it. It's a soup and
normal
salad
buffet
bar.
stuff.
Yeah, like not even like they don't have no like fried shit or anything unhealthy. It's all healthy. Like,
oh, that's good.
That's what was cool about it. But then they fucking shut it down. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'd be eating a badass salad every day if there was still Fresh Choice. And then you go to the salads are unhealthy. Like, they say they're healthy options, but they're not, bro. Like,
no.
You go to Jamba Juice and there's a fucking ass ton of fucking sugar in the fucking drinks. Like, there's
Jamba Juice is so good.
You know? And then you go to Whole Foods and you're like, all right, well, I'll buy a cold pressed fucking juice from Whole Foods, right? And they're using shitty ass produce in the back. They fucking blend it up themselves in a dirty ass room, and then they charge fucking $8 for the shit.
Sick.
It's fucking stupid, man. It's almost like every option, every type of like food option is out there to either fuck you or kill you. You know.
That's what I'm saying. So you just gotta
embrace
McDonald's. You gotta embrace it. You got to embrace McDonald's.
Yeah, fuck McDonald's.
So here's my other question though that I was curious about, and I've asked other people about this since I picked my topic. So let's just say your favorite fast food place. It doesn't have to be McDonald's necessarily. It could be any fast food place that's your favorite, right?
Okay.
Something comes out. You get on the internet. Something comes out that says this place has been serving questionable meat. And by questionable, I mean like living, breathing, was once a human, maybe.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you brought this up.
So here's my question. Yeah. You've been eating it. It's your favorite fast food place. It has been for a long time, and you love it. Do you stop eating it?
I'll eat it more.
What's that called? I'm switching over to Chick-fil-A. Save the cows.
You can't eat at Chick-fil-A.
But that's like
that makes you a bigot.
That'd be the crazy like part about it is you've eaten it for all this time knowing that you love it, and then you find out that it's got people in it or something.
All right, look. I was at McDonald's. I mean,
because we all don't actually know what's in any of it,
dude.
Right?
All right, there are. You can just be candid about it. There are conspiracy theories out there that say McDonald's is human meat, and fucking, there was this dude that one day he was like, "Hey, I'm going to grab some In-N-Out." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm getting McDonald's right now," and he says, "There's like children, ground up children from other countries in there." And I said, "Well, I guess I'm a cannibal today." And fucking, and I ordered a McGriddle because I don't give a fuck about any of that. There are regulations and there's so much shit that is done right in this country. And, you know, when we get to my second topic, I'll kind of explain that shit a little bit more. But there is no fucking way that there is human meat in the shit. The only human meat, now I will tell you this, on production lines and in fucking factories and fucking maybe there's a finger that gets in something, but like
from a worker or something.
Do you remember? Yeah. I want to bring this up. Do you remember the Wendy's chili finger fucking lady?
I feel like I do remember that.
I remember that story.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah, this lady fucking cut off her aunt's own finger. Well, she was eating. Well, fuck, I jumped way ahead of the conclusion. But this lady fucking
chili, and she found a finger like in the fucking bowl.
Yeah, and she's like, there's a human finger in the chili, and then she sued Wendy's, made a big deal. It was all over the news. Fucking Wendy's almost had to take chili off the menu because their public perception was so bad from this shit, right? And check this out. So fucking they end up, tracing the finger. They check the DNA on there, found out the lady's aunt just died. And what happened was the lady cut off her aunt's finger trying to get her wedding ring so she could pawn it because she was a dopehead. And fucking, she got the wedding ring off and had this finger. And instead of just throwing the finger away and getting away with pawning the ring, she said, hey, you know what? I can make a whole lot more money if I fucking throw this in my Wendy's chili and say it was just in there. And it came. And fucking, I don't know if she did jail time. I'd have to look it up. But, like, that shit is fucking hilarious to me.
That's why.
Yeah, that's actually very creative. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
But if that big of a deal was raised up by fucking a finger that was in the chili that wasn't even like coming from the factory, or coming from the restaurant, I think they would catch motherfucking children being ground up and put in McDonald's food.
And that's not even necessarily what I'm saying. I mean, like, I've heard McDonald's food specifically has been like, I've heard it called kangaroo meat. I've heard it called horse meat, like
dick meat, cock meat.
Who knows? At the same time, is me personally, if I got on the internet tomorrow and they were like, this is what is actually proven to be, this is what it is, I'd probably still eat it because I've been eating it this whole time anyways. And I'm fine. I feel fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I'd fucking, I feel like shit, but I'd still eat it because I'm a fucking dumpster fire.
Exactly. I just would have to not think about it. You know?
Yeah, for real, you would just have to like.
And if I'm hungry enough, I won't.
Yeah.
You'll just like inhale that shit like instantly.
Let me get a Big Mac pack for myself.
Let me get a big cack. I'll have a big cack. All right, so check this out. So one time, I'm at this fucking sushi restaurant with my wife, and we're in their random ass place. Never been there before. Super great service, really good sushi. The lady asks us what we want to drink, and my lady goes, "I'll have a Coke," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have a Coke too." She goes, "Oh, you like a cock?" And I was like,
oh, no,
like, I was like,
you got Pepsi?
What? I said, I'm sorry, because I didn't catch what she said. She said, you want cock? You like a cock? And I was like, yeah. So she's saying Coke, and she brought us fucking 2 cocks. And then she came out with 2 big ass fucking Johnsons, just like dildo fucking on platters.
You're all like that scene from Chappelle Show where he's all.
Yep. No, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, man.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Dude, I don't know. I love fast food. I think it's great, you know?
Oh, I love fast food.
It's cool that you can just stop anywhere and get something to eat real fast and then move on with your life, you know?
Yeah.
It sucks that it's so bad for you, of course, but I mean, that's where the whole freedom of choice of being a person comes in, I guess. You know what I mean?
It's called America, baby. You have the right.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I was about to.
You would say that down in Texas.
If you want to eat the dog burger, you can eat the dog burger. It's okay. Just
I'll eat the fucking dog burger. I'll eat the butthole burger.
Don't tell me.
I'll eat everything. Don't tell me what it is. Shit, like I said, like when I go to the fucking this one restaurant, like their 2 most popular things on the menu are the fucking lengua and cabeza fucking burritos. And for all you white guys out there that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about tongue and brain fucking burritos.
Yeah.
And I mean,
isn't that what menudo is?
No, it can be.
That's something else.
It can be,
right?
But it's it is not mainly. Yeah, menudo's usually
like a soup.
Yeah, it's like a whole dish. It's good when you're hungover. Pozole is better though. I prefer pozole over menudo. I never got into menudo, but like I say, there's a place I go there. The place I go to where they fucking, those are the two most popular fucking things on the menu, and I'll be like looking at the grill, when they throw my shit on there real quick just to double check to make sure it's not mixing or they're not using the same spoon that they used, because it's kind of gross like when I don't expect it. Like if someone comes up to me and is like, "Hey, eat this cabeza taco," I'll be like, "All right, fuck it." Like, "Hey, you said it's good, I'll eat it. I'll try it." I'll eat it. But when you unintentionally take that bite and you get that different flavor and you go, the cabeza not so much as bad as the lengua. The lengua is way just chewy. And it's like, I can't do it.
I can't imagine. Honestly, if I were to imagine it, I feel like it would just be like a bunch of fat, like eating a bunch of fat.
It's super chewy. I've had duck tongue. I've eaten that before. Duck tongue tacos, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And it was dope. That it was called Silencio. That was the fucking name of the tacos.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
for real?
It was at a restaurant in Vegas,
bro,
and
that's hard.
It was so spicy and chewy though. They put like this like super spicy fucking green salsa on it, and it was it was excellent though. The tortillas were made to order. After I ordered the tacos, they make the tortilla like from scratch. It was lit. But
what I want to know is how many duck tongues does it take to make one duck tongue taco?
Dude, that's what I was wondering too. Like, how big is a duck tongue?
It can't be that big.
I know. I gotta Google how big is a duck tongue.
Because I imagine there's a lot of very quiet ducks out there for that meal you had.
They probably kill the whole duck too. Oh, a duck tongue is 2 inches. It's about a taco.
No, they'd be snatching their tongues left and right.
That's okay. Yeah, okay.
They're just taking tongues. They only take the tongue.
And then let them free.
Oh, that's fucked up.
They're mute ducks forever.
Have you seen that movie Speak No Evil?
Speak No Evil?
I feel like I have. It sounds familiar.
It's the one where the fucking couple, they lure people to their home. And you don't find any of this out until like the last 10 minutes. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it though, it's a waste of time. I feel like it's too long of a movie where nothing happens. But like, they lure couples, they meet couples on vacation, then they lure them to their house, and then they kill the couples, and then they fucking take their kids and cut their tongue out, and then take their kid on the next, and then kill the kid that they currently have, and then they go on their next vacation, meet another couple with the kid, and then they just do it over and over again. It's like a cycle. And their reason for doing it is they only do it to super like push over people that just let them do everything. Because the guy's like, "Why are you doing this to us?" And he goes, "Well, because you let us." Because he, like they don't fucking, they had like a million chances to leave in the movie, and you're just like, something bad's gonna happen. Something bad's gonna happen, but like nothing really bad happens until the last 5 minutes.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what they basically do that with ducks in real life. Is they go on vacation with their duck, and they're like, "Oh, that duck's real quiet," and it's like, "Yeah, no, he is," and come visit us, and then they bring your duck.
bring your duck,
and then that's how they run that restaurant. That's probably why it's no longer on the menu. They took it off the menu last time.
That's crazy. I've never heard of that until you said it. Like the weirdest thing I've had that I can think of is like swordfish, bison, chicken liver, chicken hearts.
That's gross. You ate chicken hearts?
Yeah, dude, it was good.
It's
not bad. And chicken liver is actually really good too if you dip it in mustard. Not bad. I don't like beef liver. That's weird.
Weirdest thing I've ever eaten was probably octopus.
Oh yeah, I have had that. I don't mind that. I mean, that's what calamari is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I like the little baby fried ones, and then I'm like, ooh, I'm eating babies. I'm like a porn star.
Oh my.
You know? Yeah, that shit was pretty crazy, man. I like fucking calamari. Calamaris are bomb. Calamaris are at some restaurants have some pretty good calamari. But yeah, no, like, all right. Have you guys ever like had like a restaurant like in a sketchy fucking area that like for me it was like Jack in the Box. Like there was like one Jack in the Box in town, and fucking every time we would go there it'd be like a fucking Jurassic Park like fucking homeless encampment trek, you know, like through the drive-through, because they're like aggressive fucking homeless people that just like set up a camp there in the parking lot, and like
Right.
you're there, everything else is closed, and it's like 2 a.m, and I want to get like a munchie meal, so like I pull up there, and like it's gotten so bad that what they did is they fucking people would like order, and then they would be waiting in the line for too long because it was always the slowest fucking Jack in the Box too, that like homeless people would start fucking with them or putting their hands on their windows and shit, and they would just pull out of the driveway. So what this Jack in the Box did is they built a concrete barrier to where you can't fucking drive out. Like once you're in, you're locked in. And
God, that's awkward.
And I've always seen fights in this Jack in the Box fucking like with other drivers and shit. It's just in a really bad area. Like I've seen people get out of the car and fight, and like those like YouTube videos and shit.
It ain't that serious.
Yeah, dude. over like $2 tacos, you know? Like there's like some
Jack in the Box, bro.
Some lady like
that's
fucking
not even a real taco. That's cat food.
Yeah, oh my god, dude.
Seriously.
But yeah, like so there's that one, and then there's this other Taco Bell that I avoid going to that's literally down the street from this Jack in the Box. And at this Taco Bell, I went there like right when they opened. It was like literally opening fucking month. And these motherfuckers threw my food in the bag without even wrapping it. Like literally there was just
you just had a pile of food in a brown paper bag.
There was a raw dog burrito, like raw dog. Like they just raw dogged it and gave it to me.
What the fuck?
It was so, and you know what pisses me off too is I get home, I open it up and I see that and I go, what the fuck is this, right? So I drove back, and like nowadays I'd just throw it away, but back then I didn't have money and shit, so I'm like, I was really upset.
I'm eating it.
That was my meal. No, I didn't eat it. I went back and I just showed them and I said, what the fuck is this? I drove past the fucking
being a Karen.
I drove past the like order, menu, and I just went straight up to the window. And yeah, I was a Karen. I fucking opened up the fucking bag and I said, what the fuck is this? And the lady goes, what? And she goes, that's a burrito.
Thank you.
I'm aware. And I'm like, I was like, you don't see what's wrong with this? That. Like fucking, they didn't wrap it. And she goes, they just put it in there like that. The shit was like open and the shit was falling out of it too. It was like the burrito wasn't even wrapped tightly. And yeah, she was just like, oh, really? They did this? Okay, well, I'll have them make you another one. And I said, I don't want another one from whoever the fuck made this. They're gonna put their fucking dick in it. They're gonna pick their nose and fucking
meat in your fucking.
Like, what's wrong with the burrito I made?
Yeah, like I was so fucking mad. So
you're gonna find out what's wrong with the new one.
That was another
sour cream.
That was another experience that I had where I was just like, like, you ever had an experience like that was really bad at a fucking fast food joint?
I will. Okay. Yeah, I have, and it's at one of my favorite places, but it's at one. I went at a bad time. You know what I mean? It was at the ass end of the day, and I could tell they just wanted to leave. They literally gave us everything they had left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Per our order. So like the fries we got were like cold. The chicken nuggets were cold because they'd been sitting there for a while. They weren't that great. The Big Macs weren't even Big Macs. They had chicken in them. So I don't know what happened there.
Chicken Macs.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I have had bad experiences, but that just comes down to, I can't 100% blame those employees. You know why? because I'm the idiot that showed up at a McDonald's right before closing. So I got what I got.
They were like, "Fuck you. You get what you get."
But they all the two employees that I saw in there looked so proud, like they were doing such a great job. They were so happy about it. Was obviously like, when your parents finally leave you home alone.
Yeah.
It was like that. They're like, dude, you could tell they were so happy. Like, we're doing so great. High-fiving and shit.
That's crazy because I wouldn't even fucking.
But see, here's what I would do for that. I'm not going to go back in there because it is closing time. And I'm just going to eat what they gave me, as horrible as it is. I'll throw away what's really that bad. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call tomorrow and be like, yo, I ain't trying to get anybody in trouble or nothing, but basically I want a free meal. And then you get put on a list to get a free meal, and nothing bad happens. You just be nice about it. A lot of people out there do this with fast food places where they call and go full Karen.
Yeah.
If you don't go full Karen and you're just nice to them and you're just like, because the last thing I want to do is for someone to get their ass chewed out at work in front of people or even behind closed doors. That's embarrassing, man. It sucks. Mm-hmm. So like at the end of the day, I just want ultimately what I feel like my money was worth. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I'm gonna tell you.
I always, whenever I get an order like that, I'll just call the next day, or I'll call when I get home, and I'll be like, "Yo," and they usually hook it up.
Well, that's cool, and that's a mature way to go about things. But like, like you said, like, yeah, like some people could say, well, it's a shitty job, and they deal with shitty customers, and this and that, but. Motherfucker, when you sign up for the job at McDonald's, like your job is to make the fucking Big Mac the way you make a Big Mac. Your valid. Job is to fucking not get the people sick with the fucking chemical shit you're cooking up and the bullshit you're making.
That's the worst thing you can do to somebody.
Yeah, like
when it comes to food.
That's your job is to not do that. Like that's your fucking duty. Like if you can't do that, if you can't make the Big Mac right, go work somewhere else. Yeah, go do something else.
It's not that big of a deal. Just do something different.
Go dig holes. Because that's all you're fucking good at if you can't make a Big Mac.
I'm tired of digging holes, Grandpa.
I'm gonna tell you this. Too damn bad. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is getting into my topic. So I want to talk about working in restaurants because I worked in a lot of restaurants, and I want to start off this topic with saying this. Everybody that works in the restaurant industry, and I'll get a lot of hate for this, for saying this statement. This is probably the most polarizing statement I've fucking have ever put out in a public forum. But I want to say,
I'm in.
Say it.
Everybody that works in the restaurant industry, that works on the kitchen side, that works in the kitchen, that cooks shit, they are one level below entry level construction. That kitchen jobs, when you're working on the line, when you're a line cook, and I'm not talking about the guys that are going to college and doing this on the side. I'm not talking about the people that are, working in the kitchen at Safeway for the insurance for their kids, but their full-time job is like some totally different shit.
Right.
What I'm talking about is the people that do this full fucking time. That is the lowest, like the shittiest, like these motherfuckers cannot do anything better than this. It's lower than entry level construction, and I'm talking about construction because like when you go in there and you look at low level, entry level construction, you got tweakers, you got alcoholics, you got guys that can't hold down a job for more than a week, right. Like guys that show up one day and then disappear. But there are worse people than that, and then there's an even lower level of shittier people, and you know who they are? Those are the fucking temp agency kitchen workers. That is the absolute lowest that you get on the totem pole. Like when you absolutely don't give a single fuck. Because I worked in kitchens for, I want to say I worked in kitchens for about 6 years, bro. And from age actually no, I worked in kitchens for about 7 years, from age 18 to fucking whatever 25 or whatever the fuck, 26. And actually no, 25. But yeah, I did that for a long time, and like I was that guy. I was that motherfucker I literally used to clean out the grease trap every night. I used to fucking do all this nasty shit every fucking day. I used to get bitched at by the front of house. I used to hate the customers. I used to hate it when they would send shit back. I used to put my dick in the food. I didn't put my dick in the food. I'm just kidding. But no, I fucking
He did it once.
I used to spitefully make shit though and send it back. I never really fucked with shit food. I've seen people do it. But I used to sit there, and I was the guy that would hold down the job in the kitchen. So like I stayed there. I worked my way up in kitchens, and I hit the top, kitchen manager, and thought, "Oh, I'm going to be doing something." I wasn't making shit. When I got to the top, I realized I should have stayed in school. And the only reason I kept that job is because I thought this was the best thing that I could do, because I didn't go to school, because I thought it was my curse.
Relatable as fuck.
That I was going to be stuck doing that for the rest of my life. So
relatable.
Yeah, dude, like working in kitchens, it's fucking, you got to be,
it's not fun.
I remember people doing coke in the bathrooms. I remember we used to take fucking torpedoes at this Japanese restaurant I worked in, and we would like, they allowed us to drink. The owners allowed us to drink, and all the guys that were older than me were alcoholics, and I was college age. So I was like, fuck it, I'll drink with them too. So I was getting fucked up every shift, like while cooking sushi and making all this shit, and learning from, smoking a million fucking cigarettes every time, like, we were in between orders, or like, say it would slow down a little bit, all the orders are out and we don't have any tickets, go out, smoke a fucking cigarette, slam half a beer, go back in, hit the fucking line. And I mean cooking on the line, not hitting like a Coke line, but it was just
happen too.
Yeah, it was
that
just
wasn't off the table.
But I started as the dishwasher, worked my way up to the line, then worked my way up to sushi, and I was making $10 a fucking hour, bro, and I was getting nothing in fucking tips. Like, it wasn't like bartending. Like, bartenders make decent money. Bartenders are a level up, But I constantly, there would be people we'd hire that would show up one day, disappear the fucking next day, and just, really shady people coming in, politics out the ass. There was always politics, depression, like fucking people that just hate people, fucking nasty smells, nasty messes. I've seen so many times, like, because you have to, like, in California, you have to take this thing called Serve Safe or some shit, and it's like a license you have to hold where it basically says that you're competent to fucking understand food safety, like basic food safety.
No cross-contamination.
All I saw in this restaurant was fucking food hazards, safety hazards. Yeah. In between
every rule in the book, essentially.
When I wasn't smoking cigarettes, we had a fucking blowtorch, right? And this was a very popular sushi restaurant out there in the city that I lived in. But fucking, we would go over, and there's this big wall. And when you whack the wall, you smack the wall, all the roaches would crawl out. And we would blowtorch the roaches, and then we'd wash our hands and go back to cooking.
I'm surprised Gordon Ramsay didn't fucking bust down the doors and fucking
when you go to a Japanese restaurant,
bar rescue,
never order miso soup. You know why?
Why?
Because roaches, they crawl up into the fucking dispenser.
Don't.
Yeah, and it's unavoidable. We sealed it. We've done everything. And they're like, yeah, it's pretty common at any restaurant. And I know this because they had multiple locations, and it was a problem at both locations.
So basically make your own miso soup at home.
Just, don't get miso soup at the restaurant.
So here's my thing. And I could be wrong about this, but this is something I have noticed. So it's kind of the same with kitchen jobs. Have you ever noticed that, like, let's say janitors, for example, right? You're a janitor. Your job is to clean. most of the time people in sanitary work, their home isn't necessarily as clean as their job is. Right?
Yeah.
So that being said, the way I've noticed a lot of people I've seen work in kitchens, they cook the same way they would cook at home, which is not how you would cook in a sanitary environment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? They get too comfortable, I feel like. And I'm not saying, I'm not hating on it or anything. Everybody's got to get a hustle somehow, you know? But what I was getting at was like, some people say, and I say about janitors specifically, I guess, you know, their job is to clean, but they're not necessarily the cleanest people outside of work. My point is, people who work in kitchens might necessarily not be like, the best way I can put it is, I put an egg in my ramen and I think I'm a chef. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean I'm a chef, you know? But I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I'm kind of a germaphobe when it comes to that kind of stuff. When it comes to food I'm eating, you know? And if I see someone lick their fingers as they're getting like to get food off their hands as opposed to wiping it off, I'm out. Instantly. I'm out. That. I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
What if it's like a badass chick though?
Then fine.
Then and you're at a strip club and she's licking whipped cream off her nipples.
Oh yeah, no, bro. I don't know where that mouth's been.
You're gonna leave?
I'm gonna leave. I'm going to.
No,
McDonald's.
I said she's licking whipped cream off her own nipples.
Yeah, I don't know where that mouth's been before that, bro. I don't know
what if she wants you to lick the whipped cream off?
What if you're the?
See, I don't know. How much have I had to drink?
Are you serious? You wouldn't just go straight to it. You know, I know you would. You'd be like fucking.
No.
You'd be like the guy that discovered milk from the cow.
Oh, sucking down that.
Why you gotta make that noise?
What did you say? What did you say, Craw Daddy?
I was like just straight up sucking down that udder.
Gross. I don't even like milk out of the carton, bro. That's nasty.
Yeah. Hey, dude, but out of the other udder, it hits different, you know.
Yeah, it hits different. The texture of them fucking udders.
To each their own.
They go crazy.
Dude, for real.
No, kitchen jobs. I've had a kitchen job, and luckily the only one I've ever had to do, I did it for probably about 2 or 3 years, and I was just the dishwasher. So that was easy. Like all I had to do was set tables, and it was at like a physical rehabilitation center for elderly people. A cellar.
Physical rehabilitation center. It was at the flesh cellar.
It was a fucking physical rehabilitation center for elderly people. And,
you were the dishwasher at the flesh cellar.
All my job was to set the tables. They'd come in, eat dinner. I would go smoke a fair amount of weed, and they'd get done with dinner. And as they filtered out, I would go clean up all their nasty blended up food messes and wash the dishes and blast death metal in the kitchen until my shift was over. So like that was the extent of my kitchen work, but I've known plenty of people over time that have worked in kitchens, and I do know that it is very much like how you say it is.
Yeah, it's the people that are too lazy to do construction work. Like that's literally it. Like any entry level construction, anybody can do construction work, bro. They got guys posted in front of Home Depot that are down for $100 that will fucking bust their fucking ass. But the kitchen is the fucking crackheads, the ones that can't get their shit together enough to do real physical labor. And like, I'll never forget this, bro, because I was working at Whole Foods Kitchen. I'll put it on blast. I was working at Whole Foods Walnut Creek. Okay. So fucking I'm I'm working there, and
Pinpointed.
there's this guy in the back, and I'm just the most positive guy when I'm working. Like, people always ask me, how's your day going? I go, easy money, easy money. I always try to say something to make people smile. And I went in the back, and fucking there's this new dishwasher that they hired. It was like his second day, bro. And I go in the back, and I bring him, the dishes and everything. And I go, how are you doing, man? He goes, I'm doing good. He said, how are you? I said, easy money, another day in paradise, And he goes, right on. So I go back, I'm doing my shit. And then I fucking, I go back there again, and he goes, hey, man, hey. And he pulls me to the side, and I'm like, what's going on? He goes, you like a crystal? I got really good crystal. I'll sell to you $20. And I said, this motherfucker's trying to sell me some meth. Like, and I was so like, just like, what the fuck? I was like, no, I'm cool, man. Like, the fuck you think because I'm just smiling and I'm happy.
Good.
I'm a fucking tweaker. Okay. But
he
it's
thinks
like,
you're already on it.
Yeah, exactly. I used to knock back like 2 energy drinks too, like before my shift when I was younger.
So you were basically on it.
Dude, I used to drink yerba mate, and I would drink like the fucking big ass cans of the ones that have like 240 milligram. And I used to knock back 2 of those, and I would be geeked the fuck up going in, like having heart palpitations. I didn't realize how bad it was for me because I used to be pale all the time from drinking all that. And people used to come up to me and be like, are you okay? You look really pale. And I'd be like,
and you're
no, I'm good. I'm fucking, I'm doing this shit. I'm cooking. And then it's hella funny because like I went from, so like my first kitchen job was working as a dishwasher at the sushi joint, working my way up to like being the sushi chef. And then I realized like I was never going to make any money there. So I said, fuck you guys, I quit. And then I went to Whole Foods kitchens and worked in the, back of house at Whole Foods kitchens. Whole Foods used to be like, they gave a fuck about the quality of their food.
Right.
But they don't give a fuck about the quality of their fucking food anymore. They used to. Now they don't give a
time has gone by.
Flying shit. Half of the shit that comes out I want to say probably the majority of shit that comes out of Whole Foods comes out of bags on their hot bar. And they were transitioning to that when I started there. When I started there, they made things from scratch, mac and cheese, all this shit, and I was good at it. And then I would always strive for quality, and like, the morning were a bunch of random motherfucking crackheads they hired that would just put slop together and set me up with slop, and I would come in at night, make all the shit for dinner and make shit for morning for them, make their breakfast for the following morning, and then they would just fuck me over with like bullshit ass, shit. So I got in trouble because of the politics, because I shook the boat and I said, hey, we should, if we're charging $11.99 a pound for this shit, it should be good, right? Like it should be decent. Like, people are spending $25 on a fucking box of food. Like, let's make it good. And they were like, no, you're causing too many problems or whatever. Like, the manager didn't know shit about cooking. He used to walk up to me and be like, what kind of vegetable is that? And I'm like, aren't you the manager of the kitchen? It's all politics. It was all politics, and it's all ass kissing to get to the top. Whole Foods, and now they're owned by Amazon. It goes to show you,
No
but
shit.
Yeah, they never gave a fuck, but they want to charge out the fucking ass for it, And so I was disappointed there because I was like, well, I want to be a culinary dude. I want to move my way up. So I fucking went from there, and I worked at this little restaurant called Lemonade that was in Walnut Creek, and it doesn't exist anymore. They were opening them up back to back. Like it's a joint where you go in there and they have funny little sandwiches. You can buy like a little like chicken sandwich in the front and like a bunch of pre-prep salads that they prep in the back. And it was like legit. Like it had like good recipes and shit they would actually cook. Some of the shit came out of bags, but they would like throw in, like the mac and cheese came out of a bag, but we'd throw in Parmesan and like truffle oil and like make it actually good. But the problem with this place is the manager didn't know anything about cooking either. And if you ordered the mac and cheese, you might be getting a bite of the mac and cheese that was made fucking 3 weeks ago. Because here's what they would do. Every time they make a fresh batch of mac and cheese, they would mix it with the old one in a new container. And then
dirty.
that they would never dump anything
Dirty.
out. They would never dump anything out. You're supposed to dump something out after 4 hours after it's cooked, right?
Right.
There would be shit in there for 8 hours, like all day, and just getting rotated in a new container. And when I told them, this isn't safe, they said, well, we can't afford it. And then the building ran out of hot water. There was a problem with the water heater for the building. We should have shut down that day. They kept the fucking restaurant open. They were washing all the dishes with cold water, bro. And I just remember it was holiday season, and it was fucking packed with people shopping, because it was like in a shopping center. So I remember that was the week after that I walked out. I went into the shift, and I like stood in there for a minute, and I was like, man, fuck this. I'm out this bitch. So I stormed out of there. And
dude, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, I took a video too. I put it on Twitter, and I was like, I'm not working in this motherfucker anymore.
No, that's valid as fuck. Because I will say this. I guess you could say like construction as well. If it's something, a kitchen job or construction, I guess. Either one, if that's something that you actually want to do with your life, if that's something you're passionate about, because me, I love cooking. I'm not going to go get a job cooking, though, because I know all this already. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know all this stuff, and I don't want to put myself in an environment like that. But what I'm saying is it kind of makes it hard for someone who would actually want to succeed in a career like that.
And what I mean, though, is like, I don't just mean like the people that are in the profession. There are people that are legit in the business. Like me, I mean, I felt legit when I was doing it. I did it because number one, I thought it was my only option. Mm-hmm. But I think that like construction and I want to say ease of access to get the job. Anybody can get a construction job. Anybody can get a job working in a kitchen. They want people that are breathing and can stand there, and they don't give a fuck. Pulse. Because they're going to pay them $15 an hour or $10 an hour.
A pulse and the willingness to work.
Yeah. And then construction jobs cap out at $35, $40 an hour. Fucking kitchen jobs cap out at $20 an hour if you're really good.
Right.
And I've worked at fucking a place called a burger joint called The Counter, I think it was called. No, not The Counter. It was, I can't remember. It was something burgers. It was like a San Diego chain. And I remember they had, like, I was there for the opening of the place, and they had this fucking asshole from fucking South Africa. And I thought he was Australian because he was a white dude that like had like Australian accent. Come to find out he's from South Africa. But this motherfucker, like, we open up the store, and they asked me what I wanted to do. And I'm like, well, I've been a cook for like 4 years now, like with hella experience. Like, fucking, I want to work the grill. Like, that's the highest position. Make me manager. Make me, something up there. And he looks at me and goes, yeah, that's very complicated. He said, Dave, when we have different burgers on the thing, there could be a well done, there could be a medium well, there could be a rare, and, it gets very complicated. I think you're going to be a good fit on the fryer. And I'm like, you want me to make French fries? like that with the timer? Like, you serious? So check this out, though. So I get this job at this fucking place. They don't wear gloves in their kitchen. Which, gross. I mean, a lot of kitchens don't wear gloves. Like, sushi gross. Place, we never wore gloves. But, like, so fucking, I go in there. We get the whole restaurant ready. I learn all the prep. I learn how to set everything up. And then I learn how to fucking put burgers together, like, after the guy actually cooks them on the grill. Because the grill guy is literally, that's all he's doing is just cooking. It's the easiest job, probably, at all the jobs. But fucking, they put me on the fryer. And this place was crazy fast, and since they just opened, this guy was yelling at us like a fucking drill sergeant and throwing food back at us like Gordon Ramsay, but I was getting paid $14 an hour. Like fucking Gordon, like, dude, this motherfucker threw French fries and onion rings on me, like, at me, and fucking check this out though. So what he wanted me to do,
that's a $30 an hour job.
The fries have to be big, right? He said it has to be big and it has to be hot. And fucking, I would go straight to the fryer. I would turn around, dump the shit, and then he would say, they had a scooper in there.
These are small and
don't
cold.
use the scooper. Use your hand. It's the only way to get it right. So I'm fresh fries that just came out of the fucking fryer that are still dripping with hot grease. I'm fucking scooping them into my shit.
He-Man those motherfuckers.
Bro, my hand, I still have scars from this fucking job.
Dude.
And that's how they want. And every other guy that worked the fryer quit.
No.
Every other guy that worked the fryer quit. And it was funny because they always had fryer issues, right? Like with just not being up to his standards. The fryer worked fine, but I mean, like, you know, shit wasn't coming out the way he wanted it.
Yeah.
So I worked this one shift, and it was funny because I come in at 12 o'clock, and he comes up to me and goes, David, we're not going to have any problems on the fryer today, are we? And I'm like, I looked at him and I said, I just got in here. That's why I'm asking. And I'm like thinking in my head, like, this shit is hella not worth it, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go, right? So pretty much they fired almost everybody, or everybody quit because they're like, fuck this. And then the only guy that was there was a dude they drove up from San Diego who was like their top guy on the grill. And fucking he was chill, actually. He was just a big pothead. And he was like, yeah they put me up in a hotel. I'm smoking hella weed or whatever. And he's like making the burgers and shit, right? And we go through this crazy rush. And normally they have two people on the fryer, like one cooking and one setting everything up. I was alone because the other guy didn't show up. So fucking bam, I knock everything out. I do it perfectly for fucking 4 hours straight. Everything is fucking immaculate. And fucking the manager comes in the back because I asked him that day. I said, hey, I heard that they fronted another guy a paycheck or whatever. Not fronted, but gave him an advance on his paycheck.
Like an advance, yeah.
Yeah, and I had already worked a week prior, you know, so it was a 2-week wait though till you get your check.
Right.
So, and I was going to Vegas that weekend, so I said, can you guys give me an advance? I heard you did that for so and so, and the manager laughed at me when I said that at the beginning of my shift. So I knew I was quitting that day. But so I went in there and I busted my ass, did everything. Fucking manager comes up to me and goes, Dave, you're the best guy that we have on the fryer. Like I see it now. Like, fuck, you're doing a really good job. And I was like, can I get that advance? And she goes, like, nah, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. And then she takes off. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take lunch, guys. So I went and took a lunch. I went across the street to Whole Foods because they have a Whole Foods there with a bar. I sat down. I ordered a beer. And I was like, man, fuck Whole Foods too. And I'm sitting there drinking a beer. And next thing you know, my phone starts blowing up. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. Business. I just texted them that. I'm not coming back. Like, good luck doing everything. And then fucking, then I called them up the next day and I was like, hey, I'll take my last check now. And then they were like, what? And I was like, back then, what was it? Somebody told me they were like, the Board of Labor said, like, if you quit a job, they have 48 hours to give you your final check or some shit.
That's
if you
how
request
it. Is
it.
here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do it in writing. Yeah.
So I told them, I was like, look, I'm going to contact the Board of Labor if you don't have my check in hand by tomorrow because I'm going to Vegas on Saturday or whatever. And they were like, okay. And they fucking had my check for me. So I went, and that was my big fuck you to that place. But it pissed me off because I went in there. I asked them for a position. I settled for the shitty position that I didn't want. And then I busted ass at it and they still disrespected me. What do you think? What do you think?
You know what's crazy is I had almost that exact same experience, but it wasn't a kitchen job. It was a car wash job.
Yeah.
And they had told me I was going to be working full time. I get there on time and they tell me not to clock in. And they would do shit like that. Like I would get there, they'd be like, don't clock in yet. And I'd be like, I'm fucking here. I'm clocking in.
You got to go whack go whack one out behind the building.
You go like try and take a morning shit that you didn't get to take because you were trying to be to work on time like a normal person. And yeah, it was that exact same situation really. Like they just kept treating me like shit. They'd be like, go take a lunch after an hour of being there. I'd be like, I just ate breakfast.
You know what you should have done? You should have said okay, and then just hang around and say, well, did they have like drinks and shit in there too?
Yeah, it was a gas station and a car wash.
So say, can I have a drink? Because usually a place will be like, yeah, sure. So you be like, all right, well, I'll do it if you give me a Gatorade, you know. And then okay, so you get the Gatorade.
True.
Right?
Yeah, I should have bartered my time better. But so I did instead was go to Hastings across the street.
So you get your free Gatorade though, right? Or you get your free shit from them, and then the second you clock in, when it's time to clock in, say I gotta take a shit. You clock in and go straight to the bathroom. And they can't do anything and go in there for like 30 minutes.
Shit on the clock.
Well, it sucked because they would always leave me with like the shitty jobs, you know, like vacuuming the cars, and it's like that sucks.
You got to clean the cum out of the back seat in the taxis, like horrible. Taxi driver.
It's like the tiny little the thinnest little vacuum hose, and so I did the same thing though. I had applied for other jobs, what I thought were better ones, and I got a call one day that I was going to get a job. They wanted me to come work at this other job at an airport, and I was like, okay. So I was on my lunch when they called and told me about that at the car wash. And I went from the Hastings across the street back to the car wash, and I was like, I wrote on a napkin.
I think Craw Daddy's taking his cock out.
Oh.
Oh, no. I thought you were going to show us.
Oh, not yet.
My bad. You gave me a half chub, man. Nah, what were you saying though? Fucking.
I get a napkin, and I write down on the napkin, my name, am requesting all pay that is due to me within 48 hours of this date. And I came in and I was like, I gave them the napkin, and they're like, what the heck? And they're all looking at this napkin, trying to read it, because I wrote it in Sharpie, because that's all I had. And so they're trying to read it, and I was like, it basically says that I quit and that you guys have to pay me in 2 days.
I've seen your handwriting too. And I know that's like even written like with a proper pen on paper, it's hard to read. So I can't imagine. Like
they were like, what the hell?
Yeah, he sent me some shit that looked like some like Mayan or like some like Egyptian hieroglyphics the other week.
Get the fuck out of
here. I was like, what the fuck is this guy writing? You know what would be sick if you ever went to prison. Like you could just use your own handwriting to pass secret messages and just write out actual words. And I don't think that either the guards, if they intercept your message, they wouldn't know what it was. And then the unfortunate part is whoever gets the message doesn't even know
either.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
What's funny about that whole situation though, was I wrote all that down on that napkin and turned it in. And they tried telling me they couldn't do that, but I'd already come prepared, and I knew they legally had to. I was like, well, you guys have to.
You should just drew a penis on it and said, it says I need my money in 48 hours.
They're all, well, we'll call payroll and see what we can do. The next day, they had a check ready for me. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't go pick up my check till payday.
You motherfucker.
And they were so mad, bro. They were like, you made a big deal about coming to get your check within 2 days, and you didn't even come get it. Like, what? Okay. Why? And I was like, I was busy.
I want to tell you, like, this was when I realized I was done, like, with kitchen work too. I forgot about this job. So fucking, I got this job at this company that was like a tech company, right? That happened to have a kitchen. Yeah. And fucking, I go in this bitch, and the week of my training, I was supposed to be going to Vegas or some shit, like couple weeks after, because I go to Vegas all the time, or I used to go all the time. I don't go that much anymore, but I was supposed to go, and this big shooting happened in fucking Vegas, right? So I go and you remember
the big one.
Yeah, the big crazy shooting happened.
Yeah.
So fucking. It was like probably my third day working at this place, and it was just a bunch of old people that worked there, and I was in the salad prep, so I'm prepping salads every day, and it was 8 hours of me and this older lady that fucking was in there, and she like, we would just bullshit all day. Like, bro, she reminded me of like a grandma type character. She was this old lady, right? So I'm in there, and she's cool as fuck, right? I don't think nothing of it. I'm in there prepping and everything. I'm trying to just do my work, but she won't let me be quiet. Like, she keeps prodding me and asking me questions, you know? So I'm like,
Making
okay.
conversation.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'll talk to her. So I fucking, I'm sitting in there, and it was like right after that shooting happened, and I didn't even think about that. I saw it on the news that morning, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking crazy. Whatever. I go to work, and the fucking lady is like, she brings it up. Did you hear what happened in Las Vegas? And then she's like talking about it like crazy. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, I saw something about that on the news. That shit's fucked up. Like, I guess they don't know why or whatever. So I'm in entertaining the conversation with her or whatever. And then the next day, I heard fucking like an employee saying that they lost somebody in that thing, like in the morning as I went in, like I'm getting my coffee and shit. And I was like, dang, I heard that. And it wasn't somebody in our department. I didn't even know them on a first name basis. I didn't even interact with them, but they just happened to be in the cafeteria. It was like some big wig or something. So I mentioned it to her. I'm like, dang, I guess like it affected a lot of people. That's hella weird that you brought that up yesterday, because I heard something this morning about it. She looks at me all like I'm crazy for bringing this up, right?
Yeah.
She went, because they said they were going to test me out for a week, and then they were going to give me the call that week or the following, that Sunday, to let me know if they wanted me back for the following week.
No way.
So fucking, they give me a call on Sunday, and they say, hey, you know, Dave, it was a pleasure having you here this week and everything, but we decided we're going to move in a different direction. You know, and then the lady was also telling me, oh, I really was trying to get my nephew this job. You know, he doesn't have a job and he really needs a job. And she was saying this shit to me or whatever. But so I'm like, okay, you know, this lady said something about me or said I wasn't a good fit, so her nephew could get the job, whatever. That's cool. I just want to get my last check. So I call the lady up and I'm like, well, when are you guys going to have my last check? She said, oh, we'll have it in like 2 weeks and, you know, we'll mail it to you. I'm like, no, I'm not. I need money. Like, you're going to give it to me within 48 hours and I'm going to come and pick it up. And they were like, no. They literally said no. And she said, look, Dave, you know, part of the reason that we're not continuing with you is because there were some concerning things that you said to so-and-so. And I'm like, no, dude. No.
You're like, is this real life?
You're kidding me. So she was like, if you try to come in or around the building, security is ready for you to come. And I'm like, no. Like, this bitch baited me into talking about this. I just entertained the conversation. No. And then she fucking says this is the reason, so she can get her nephew in to work there. And
bro.
Yeah, it was so fucking
That's
funny.
dirty.
Oh, it was so fucking funny. It's like, looking back at it,
dirty.
I'm grateful I didn't get that job, because it was literally like I was a kitchen for tech companies for a tech company in the Bay Area. And like, I don't want to be that's a bitch position. I don't want to be anybody's bitch. I don't want to be the guy that's serving the fucking, you know, the tech companies that are coming out here and like gentrifying and, you know, the areas. I agree with you. Like, fuck them.
I agree with you. Yeah, I totally agree. Because and I go back to the construction thing, and it's the same concept. At least for me, you know, I have friends that work in that line of work in construction and shit. I'm 32 years old. I'm not trying to go into anything where I don't know what I'm doing and become the donkey boy.
Yeah, you don't want to be donkey boy.
I'm a grown-ass man. I don't want to be no donkey boy.
But you do have legally, you do have donkey brains.
Yes.
Yeah, there's been, don't you have like a document that legally says you have donkey brains?
Yeah, it's actually, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
I don't really talk about it much, but I mean, you guys are the homies, so, you know.
You've seen that, right? On the
what?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No, I don't remember that.
Danny DeVito, Danny DeVito is legally, clinically fucking has donkey brains on the show. He's like, they sent me to a loony school when I was a kid, and they said I have donkey brains. And there's an actual document, like a certificate that says he has donkey brains. You never seen that?
Oh my God. I don't remember that one. I do love that show though.
Yeah, he's like, they sent me to a loony bin. It's so fun. He calls us a nitwit school. That's what he called. They sent me to a nitwit school. And the doctor, they poked and prodded me. I fell in love. I had my first kiss at the nitwit school. It's so fucking funny, dude. Fuck, Craw Daddy. All right, man. I've been venting and airing out my shit, my dirty laundry, and name dropping my previous employers and shitting on them and smearing them.
This topic.
But I want to talk about. I want. You've been real quiet down there, so air it out, Daddy.
Okay.
Open that gate.
My topic this week is about a sport that I've been passionate about for years now, and it's swimming. I've been a swimmer ever since I was 5 years old. I've competed competitively from the 3rd grade up until high school, senior year. And my last competition was back in 2018 in San Antonio. Yeah.
Damn. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? What do they even call them?
The strokes?
Stroke? Yeah, strokes. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, well, I have many different strokes.
Oh, yeah. You know my favorite stroke.
Dude, yeah.
Up and down.
Up and down.
The up and down.
No, but real shit. The one that's probably my favorite to do is
what's your favorite? What's your favorite, and what's the one that you're best at? Because it can be different.
Freestyle is my favorite, and the one that I'm good at is a mix between breast and back.
That's crazy, bro. That's me, dude.
Really?
That's 100% me. So I also swam competitively. My mom was a swimmer, and she insisted that we do it. So I was on the same exact team from 6 years old until I was like almost 18.
Holy shit.
What the fuck? A literal mirror, dude. That's crazy.
Crazy. She made us do it. And what's funny is I remember one summer specifically. I didn't have to do for some reason. I don't remember why we weren't swimming that summer. I think we had swim team. Maybe it was just during, like, we had practice and then we had meets and that was it.
Yeah.
But I remember being home one day and I was literally laying on my kitchen floor as a small young dirt Riffs. And I was so bored. It was summer vacation. It was like a cartoon, man. You know, you see the cartoon characters laying on the floor. They're just like,
like, what am I gonna do today?
I was literally laying on my kitchen floor, and my mom walked in from work, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just so bored." Like, I made a big deal about it. I was like, "I'm so bored." Well, she put me in some extra swimming classes for that. I had to do extra swimming practice with the coaches, and I had to do lifeguard training.
Oh shit.
And I failed the lifeguard training.
Oh man. The lifeguard training's easy though.
I know it was. I think they failed me on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Because I would so for an example, like one day one of the teachers is all, so you're in the club, right? And someone chokes on a piece of ice. What do? Me being the logical person says, I'm going to wait for that shit to melt. It's in their throat. Their throat's warm, dude. That ice cube is going to melt if you rub their neck. You know what I mean? They'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. I don't need to do anything other than that. They didn't like that
you
kind of shit.
You don't even need to put a Band-Aid on it.
Exactly. They didn't like that kind of shit. So I failed that class. But swimming was something I did for a very long time. Saturday mornings was, you drive to another town like Roseville, Orangevale, Folsom, you know, bunch of different places in California. Right? Yeah, for the meets.
Dude, the meets were always the best.
Dude, you know, I will say this. It was very fun. The only downside for me was the fact that my parents were making us do it. So all me and my 3 siblings had to do it. So every Saturday, the whole family would get up and go to a meet, and we'd be there all day long. And then we'd leave and go get fucking Jamba Juice after.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it was just, you're a kid. It's a pain in the ass. You don't want to get up and go do this shit and wait for hours for your one race, and then you wait for another hour or two for your next race. Like,
dude, for real. And then the worst part is if you miss that race, they just straight up disqualified you for the whole fucking competition.
See, the only times I ever got disqualified was for like the dumb stuff. Like when you're doing backstroke and you turn over for too long to do your flip turn.
Oh yeah, if you're like on your stomach for a certain amount of time, they fucking raise their hand.
Yeah, like that's what I would get disqualified for, with shit like that. Just like depth perception kind of shit.
For breast and fly.
Yeah. And what sucked is I always was good at butterfly and breaststroke, but I fucking hated butterfly, bro.
Dude, yes.
I hate it. It's just such a weird pattern, man. It's such a weird thing.
I remember one time for an endurance type set, our coach was like, oh yeah, so today we're gonna do like 50s of butterfly under the minute. I was like, what the fuck? That's wild.
So here's one thing I will say about swimming, because I've always been the big kid on the swim team, right?
Yeah.
And here's one thing I've noticed, and I told you guys about this in the group chat. I tell my friends all the time, I will smoke you in the pool. I will do it. Maybe not. I don't know about you, because you probably still swim and I don't anymore.
Oh yeah, but dude.
I tell all my friends that I know aren't in the pool, it's like, I'll smoke you right now. And they're like, no. The big kid ain't gonna smoke you. Let me tell you this. The two fastest kids on my team in my age group was one chubby kid and me. And we were both chubby as fuck. Like, we were big boys. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Makes you more aerodynamic.
Dude, I don't know. It was crazy, because people would say shit about it, and being like kind of an overweight kid at the time, it's kind of weird to hear people talk about it. When you're a kid, they're like, wow, like that's crazy. The big guy, he's super fast. He's so big. It's like, dude, take it down a notch. You're doing too much.
Like, well, it's like a torpedo, like once it gets that force behind it, and it just, it's
all pushing, dude. It's all pushing of the water, man.
You're pushing through the water, yeah.
What I would always do is, I would imagine that there was no bottom to the pool and there was a big motherfucking shark in there. There was a big motherfucking shark in there, and he wanted me. That was my goal every time.
Man, I fucking
real quick.
I hate swimming.
Oh, dude.
I
love swimming. I love it. It's just that's what it was for me, was the fact that I had to go and do it,
Yeah.
Now, if I get in the water, it's going to take a while to get me out of it. You know what I'm saying?
So I was never like that. When I was a kid, my dad threw me in the pool, and like that's how you teach a kid.
Yep.
I got a mouthful and a nose full of water.
Not always, but
And I never wanted to go back in. And then a couple years later, my cousins fucking pushed me in the pool, got a mouthful and a nose full of fucking water. And then I was just like, man, fuck this. Like, I would always be like in the like shallow end, just like walking around, like in pools. And then like everyone called me a
like
bitch.
An elderly person
at the well, so I went to I would always, how deep is it? That was always my question. How deep is the pool? Like when someone says they have a pool somewhere, how deep is the pool? I'm not jumping in the motherfucker. I'm not doing any of that shit. And then I got older. Oh yeah, the water park. I couldn't enjoy the water park. I was like so afraid. Like even though they got like, I didn't realize like you go down the slide and it's only like 3 feet deep, like when you come out at these places. But I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to fucking drown, and I don't want it up my nose. That's the most unpleasant feeling, and like choking and just coughing and crying because I remember I was so young. I'd just cry, you know. And it was unpleasant. And I remember when high school came because it was required. Like it was one of the parts of PE in freshman year, and
they required it for y'all.
yeah, I was failing a lot of classes.
Really?
Well, my school had a big ass pool, so they were like, I guess they did it so they'd have to use it or whatever. Because we had a water polo team and all that shit, and yeah, so I go in there, and they fucking, I bring my swim trunks to school, and I'm like not gonna fail PE. Like I was failing like 3 or 4 classes my freshman year, but
wait. Pause. You brought swim trunks. Did you bring swim trunks, a Speedo, or jammers?
Oh
no, I just brought, what's it called, swim trunks, like fucking like board shorts.
Board shorts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That is acceptable for school.
Yeah. So check this out though. So fucking,
we'll get back to that one.
Craw Daddy knows what I'm talking about.
They put us all in the pool, bro, and they line us all up, and like I'm at this age where I'm like awkward and I'm like hella like insecure about my body because I had like a fucking I was like chubby little kid, so I'm like, this sucks. Like all the girls I like are in here, and like they're fucking
now they can
looking
see my
and
belly button.
and I'm like, and I don't want to get a boner, like this is just awkward all
and
around.
I already have one.
Well, it was terrible, and then fucking they teach us like all the different strokes and how to float on our back and that shit, and then they have the deep pool. And it's just like a fucking 12-foot deep fucking square pool. And they're like, all right, now everybody jumps into the middle and then float up to the top and get out on the side. Or no, and then you have to like, what's it called? Like fucking float for like fucking, the 30 minutes or some shit. Or no, not 30 minutes. It was more like a minute, 2 minutes.
He's all training to be a Navy SEAL at like
No, but you have to do it for like 2 minutes or something, like 1 minute. So fucking I did it, and I actually like floated for the first, like they were like hold your nose if you have to, and like I did that and I was like, oh, I'm fine, like I can swim. And then fucking I just remember it was the most painful thing because she was like, okay, so this is the final test. You have to fucking do like 6 laps and like you're going back and forth, right? And she was like, you have to like swim every stroke, going each way. And then fucking, I just remember
like a rally.
And I just remember the backstroke lasted forever. And I'm on my back just getting facefuls of water. And I'm just like, and like chlorine, and I was just like, this is the hardest thing they've ever made me do in PE, right?
Yeah.
I fucking do that, and then literally I learned how to ditch when we started doing the next fucking thing, which was like track, and I failed PE fucking anyway for the semester, so I had to take it again. The following year, and when we went to the pool. When we went out to the pool, I told the teacher straight up, I said, I don't care if I fail. I'm not doing this again. I did this last year and I did everything. Like, you can give me the grade for last year, but I'm not getting in that pool again. Because not only was I, not wanting to have to do this again, but I was a little bit older. I was a little bit bigger. And I was a fucking sophomore in a freshman class this year. So I was with younger kids too, and I'm just like,
you had a little bit of sentimental pull, I guess. You could have like tugged on her heartstrings a little bit. Like,
dude,
look, man.
Oh, the teacher didn't give a fuck about me. She gave me an F. Fucking bitch. I failed high school, like fucking freshman and sophomore year. Like D's, I think. I think maybe the best grade I got was like a C.
Yeah, but D's was passing at a certain point.
But no, not in the eyes of fucking the school safety advocate.
Not in the eyes of my parents.
Bro, they used to have me.
But it is passing.
I had bad grades.
Graduate high school with D's.
I had bad grades, and they just like assumed I was like a bad kid, like because I had bad grades. So like anytime some shit was going down, they would pull me in the office, and I'm just like, I was just stupid. I wasn't stupid. I just didn't want to do anything.
What does that say on your shirt?
Yeah,
Well,
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
this
a
is the
bad
Christmas
kid,
Cannibal
bro.
Corpse
You're
too.
a bad kid. Look at you. You're a bad kid.
What the fuck does Craw Daddy's shirt say? He's
I
a
don't
really
know.
bad kid.
He sneezed on it.
Sandwich sugar
He
booger.
sneezed on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I just
He fucking
sneezed on my
sneezed on it.
shirt.
You
Because
you
remember
spilled
last
some
week
ink
I
on
was
your
fucking
shirt,
Fresh
boy.
drip.
This is all my boogers that are on the
Fresh
shirt.
drip.
Fresh
Only
drip.
the freshest drips on three daddies.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Drip from the tip. But
My
So-
tip is kind of drippy right now.
but I hate swimming though because of that. Like I mean, you know, I go to like I went to Mexico and like I'm at a resort where it's just all pool, and like my only interest is like sitting in the hot tub for like 2 minutes because it's like a novelty to me, and then just
Right.
having hella drinks and water. I like water slides. I like water parks. I love that kind of shit. But if you're like, hey, you want to go swimming? I'm like, no. Like, we are not fish. I mean, you guys are built different. Like, you guys are some Michael
I'm a
Phelps ass
fish. I don't know what
motherfuckers.
y'all-
You know, you guys got lung capacity. You know,
I got
like
fucking gills right here on the side of my fucking lungs.
you have gills tattooed
there's
on
a
you.
reason.
Yeah,
Show
dude.
me.
Do you really? Get out of here. Do you really?
Yeah, y'all want to see that?
Yes.
Yo,
Oh.
me too, bro.
He does. He
Wait,
actually
really?
does.
Yeah,
You
I
actually
actually
do
do.
Yeah,
Oh,
show
no
him.
fucking way, dude. That's
Yeah,
fucking
bro.
wild. I need to see him.
No, I'm just playing. I don't.
Aw.
But I do have a great white tattooed on my leg because first off, I think sharks are really cool. They're like the king of the ocean, basically.
Mhm.
And
I thought King Kong was the king of the ocean.
What the fuck?
no, that's the king of the trunk, bro.
King
No,
Kong be the king of my hood.
but it was partly also I feel like I just like sharks so much because of that swimming experience, you know? Always
Yeah.
picturing like being chased by a megalodon or something, you know?
Wait, did you
Dude,
see
for
the
real.
Meg in theaters with Jason Statham?
I did.
No.
Why do you say it like that?
What do you mean, Jason
Jason
Statham?
I thought it was Statham.
Is it Statham or is it
His
Statham?
face.
I don't even
His
know.
face totally just changed. He's all what? Statham.
Jason
I've
Statham.
never heard that, bro. I always thought it was Jason Statham.
Yeah, the transporter, you know, Jason Statham.
Yeah, Crank.
Yeah, Crank. Oh my God,
Crank and Crank
I
2,
remember that.
bro.
That
Oh,
movie's
those are great
so
movies.
fucking bad. It was good. Yeah.
Yo, dude, exactly. It's so bad, it's good.
Part 2 was
No.
just stupid.
Yeah, Crank is better than Crank 2.
Your heart is not real, so now you have to keep it charged with electricity. And he's just like shocking
Is
himself.
Crank 2 the one where he has to fuck the girl in public to like get his heart going again, or is that Crank?
I think that was the
Wait,
first one.
I've never seen this movie.
You've
So
never seen it,
ridiculous,
dude?
bro.
Okay.
Dude.
So he's like a hitman, right, or something, and then they
3
tell
Daddy
him
movie night.
he wakes up and yeah. If you've never seen this, Craw Daddy, fuck. So he wakes up and they're like, we have cut off your adrenal gland to your body. Your heart is gonna stop if you don't like stay geeked the fuck up. So he does everything that you can possibly like.
He's like doing coke,
while
robbing
bad
banks.
yeah, bad
beating
guys are
people
chasing
up.
him. He's smoking meth. He's doing coke. He's fucking bitches. He's robbing people to keep his heart rate up. So it's an hour and a half of just nonstop action, while the main villain is Paul Giamatti, like piece of shit Giamatti in the ultimate piece of shit role. You know, he's almost like a Grand Theft Auto character in that.
It's basically if Grand Theft Auto was a movie.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it is.
That's basically what it is.
It
And
sounds
they
freaking
filmed
cool.
it in a crazy
Oh,
ass
dude, it's
way
great.
to where the lighting and everything, like it's almost like
It's-
you're seeing it from his perspective, and he's
so-
all just
It's so corny in some parts. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
corny in
super
some parts,
vibrant.
but it's so great.
it's so stupid.
Dude,
Yeah.
I need to see it.
Yeah,
it's good.
Crank.
The
Crank.
best of both
And then
worlds, like
We
that.
gotta find some way to do like a 3Daddies movie night then, because we
oh
got a
yeah,
few movies that we've
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about on this.
we can do it in
We got Willy
Discord.
Wonka, Crank, and then what was the
Blood
other
in,
one we
Blood
talked
Out.
about last time?
Blood in,
Yeah,
Blood Out.
Blood in, Blood Out.
Yeah, we'll start doing movie nights probably January. Maybe we could do them in January.
That'd be cool.
I'm down. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty lit. If we start doing those, and then we can do commentary. And if you want to join us,
That can be one of those. That can be one of those things that those really tape of the month buyers buy, or
I'd put it on the $5 tier, producer tier.
Yeah.
You get
Producer
access
tier
to
or
the
something like that.
Discord.
Yeah.
We'll have a Discord that we do it in. I'll generate that and everything.
Movie night, full commentary.
Yeah, commentary fucking movie night. I'm down for that.
Fuck
And
yeah,
just
that sounds fun.
God. Yeah, you got to start keeping
That'd
that
be
list,
chaos.
man. I got it in my head.
Blood in,
but
Blood Out, Willy Wonka,
Crank. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Crank 1, not Crank 2.
Yeah, Crank
That's a
2 was
good
just
list.
too crazy.
I mean, Crank 2 was good for what it was, but it's never you can't do Crank twice.
Yeah. Well, the second one, they made it hella crazy.
Not even once.
He had to use electricity in the second one. It was called Crank 2 High Voltage. So he's like grabbing like power lines and doing to keep his heart beating.
Dude.
It was stupid.
Crazy.
They were like, we have removed your heart and we have replaced
Only
it with
Jason
a high
Statham.
electricity heart.
Statham.
Yeah, Jason Statham.
Only Jason Statham could do that.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Nobody
but yeah,
else.
those are pretty good films. I think that those are some good ones. I don't know how we got. Oh yeah, swimming. We were talking about swimming. I don't know how the fuck we got.
What was your favorite event, Logan? Or like
my favorite event? Okay, so what's funny is I say I hated doing butterfly and I hated doing breaststroke, but I knew I was good at breaststroke, and I knew I could be good at butterfly, but I didn't like doing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, my favorite was the rallies.
The
relays, where you do one thing and you tag somebody up and they do the next one, or like even the ones when you would do all four by yourself.
Oh, the IM.
You know what I mean? Because for me, like I was always told I was good at backstroke and breaststroke, and I knew for a fact I was good at freestyle. So knowing those three things out of the four strokes, I liked my chances. So I would always try and go for the relays by myself and just do all four, because it's like kind of a challenge. So that's where I say like I liked it. It's like I said, it was ultimately the whole being a kid, and no kid wants to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and fucking go drive to another city and go wait an hour and a half now to go swim in cold water, and then you know what I mean, then you go wait for longer, and then there's the warm-up pool, and that's always, I feel like the warm-up pool is so awkward.
It is, yeah. You're like literally bundled up with all these other swimmers and stuff. Everyone's
and
like,
you really can't warm up. You really can't.
You can't.
You know how hard it is to do a flip turn when there's like someone right behind you and in front of you?
Dude, that shit's the worst. Yeah.
Like, it's super awkward. Like, the warm-up pool, I get it. The concept is great. It's just, I don't know.
Not enough space.
I'm not. I would way rather, if there's not enough space, I would way rather go sit under my canopy on a blanket and listen to music. Which I will say, that was the one thing I liked about swim meets, was it gave me a plethora of time to discover new music.
Dude, yes.
That was so great. I remember distinctly one time laying down under our canopy, listening to Slipknot. I was listening to the Iowa record. And you know, when you're a kid, you don't understand the concept of, if you're wearing headphones, you don't need to be singing the song. You know, but you're a kid, you don't know that.
And you're like, fuck it all, fuck this world.
So I was like,
then
I'm 666. And then my dad's like, what? And I was like, I said it again, and he's like, you know, you really shouldn't be saying that. And that's all he said. And I was
you
like,
disappointed your father.
yeah. Like, dude, you know what? You got me here at like 7:00 in the morning. You got me waiting around to go race in the water. Like, come on, man.
He's driving you to Satanism.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's where
you just want to be warm. You're just like, fuck it. Maybe if I,
yeah, dude. No, sometimes even if it is California, it is cold in the mornings sometimes. And if you're wearing nothing but sweatpants, a hoodie, and some jammers, which is also acceptable for school, I would say, I would go to school when you were saying you did swimming in school. I would wear the jammers.
The jammer is
I'll wear
cool.
the jammers, but that's a flex. You know what I mean? That's not because I know it's like makes, or anything like that, because I think it's better or anything. No, that's a flex because I know how to swim, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Make fun of me if you want. I won't wear the Speedo, but if I'm really wanting to flex, I'll wear the Speedo. If I really want to flex on them, like,
I've never actually worn a Speedo before.
Oh, dude, I have. It's the worst. I hate it.
Just walk around with a heart on and a Speedo.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. So our team colors were blue and gold. So
so is mine.
We had blue and gold like jammers and blue and gold Speedos, and then when we would go to like championships and shit like that, everybody would either dye their hair blue or they would bleach their hair blonde, like fucking Slim Shady. That's what I would do every time.
Yeah.
I would go with the fucking either the half blue, half blonde, or the full blonde.
Damn.
Crazy. That bleach hurts, bro. That bleach kind of hurts.
Yeah, you're a savage.
Kind of hurts, bro. That's why my hair be all fried the way it is now, you know? But yeah. Swimming was great. It really was. I will say this, without swimming, if I hadn't been a swimmer, there's probably a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able to tackle in life, swimming related or not. You know what I mean?
I get you on that. Yeah.
Like we had this talk on one of the last episodes about the beach. Like I had the confidence to go swim out into the middle of the fucking ocean. Like, was it stupid? Yes. But was it a confidence moment?
That's
for
where
like a
you said you were a
young
strong
kid?
swimmer, so now it makes sense.
Like,
yeah,
I wasn't afraid of it.
I fucking hate swimming in the ocean. Fuck
I did
the
not
ocean.
think about everything that was underneath me. All I thought about was, man, I can get out of here real quick if I need to. You know?
Yeah. I get you on that.
So I don't know. Swimming was good and it was bad for me. But you tell me right now you got a barbecue going and there's a pool, I'm there. I'm 100%. I'll be the first one there. I would do that kind of shit when people would have pool parties as a kid, you know? I'd be the kid that would jump in all his clothes because I didn't have a cell phone and shit at the time, you know? So I would just jump in all my clothes because I didn't care. I could swim and it was funny, you know? So
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that coming through the microphone? Can you guys hear what's going on over here?
What?
All right, I'm just ripping the most ungodly fucking farts right now. I don't know what the fuck I ate.
Oh, dude, did you shat yourself?
It's like violent over here. I thought you guys could hear on the microphone because like I kind of saw Craw Daddy smile a little bit. Now I just put myself on blast.
Have you had your Underberg yet today?
I'd need one. I'm gonna probably have one right after this. Yeah.
Got some Underberg.
It's just like violent. I don't know what the fuck I ate. I'm sorry. I hella derailed.
Let me tell you something. I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat off you for a second. I got a funny gross story.
Let's hear it.
And it literally happened today. So my son, I'm giving him food, right? You know, we're eating food, and I'm feeding him some food, and giving him a bunch of stuff to eat. And he ate quite a bit. I was actually really proud. He's normally a very picky eater, right? So he eats a lot of food, and I'm like, hell yeah, this fool, he ate like a big boy today. Well, we end up like, playing and having fun, and I'm like tickling him, and we get a little crazy and shit, and I'm having fun. He gets a little too like ticklish, I guess, and starts laughing a bunch. And he has this serious look in his eyes. And I was like, oh God, I've seen this look before. He's like,
oh.
And I was like, go to the bathroom. And he's like, he gets up, runs to the bathroom, throws the toilet open, doesn't lift the seat, throws it open. Good man for that. Pukes. Hard. Hard. I was like, I literally saw everything I just fed you come out. Like,
you're like, damn.
Poor guy. But hey, you know what? I will give him this. I have seen that kid throw up not in the toilet before. He made it to the toilet. So
props to him.
Props to him. Shouts out to him, bro.
I never made it to the toilet ever. Yeah, I always like I'm at the point where I just keep a trash can.
The fingers. Yeah, I've done the through the fingers, the trash can, all of it. It sucks. On the floor.
What about? All right,
I watched it on another kid once back in like elementary.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Man, this is the second story of you throwing up on somebody on this show.
Cold.
Dude, for real.
Yeah. Cold, bro. Cold.
Yo, so I remember when I was a kid, there was this kid named Hapawate. And yeah. Yeah, and he came up one day. We're in kindergarten. Or no, first grade. And Hapawate comes up and he goes, hey. And he was eating a snowstorm. Like a fucking, like the dessert or whatever, like the ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude. I was like, where did you get that? I was so pumped. I thought he was gonna give me a bite of it, So I was like, can I have some of that snowstorm? He says, sure. I said, where'd you get it from? He says, the garbage.
Yes. Yes.
The garbage.
Yes.
And I was like,
what's this guy's name again?
Hapawate.
Hold on. Say it one more time for me, the white guy.
Hapawate.
Hapawate?
Hapawate, yeah.
Hapawate, if you're out there, let me know if you got any snowstorms, bro.
Man, fuck Hapawate. Fucking. But
hey,
no,
he's living his best life, bro.
That motherfucker, another thing he did to me too.
And
one time,
he's trying to get you to as well.
I had a Lunchables. Hapawate's a piece of shit. Nah, here's why fuck Hapawate though. He's a piece of shit.
You had a Lunchables and you ate the garbage snowstorm?
No, I had a
Tell
Lunchables.
Me that's not what happened.
No, I had a Lunchables, and Hapawate comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, can I have some?" And I said, yeah. And I said, what part do you want? Or do you want to make a sandwich? He goes, I want the cheese. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. You can have some cheese. This piece of shit grabs the whole thing and just bit through it and tried to hand it back to me.
Damn, are you serious?
I said, you can have it, man. And it was all wet and shit.
That
like
is
all slobbery.
Uncanny, bro.
Yeah.
Savage.
Hapawate.
He wanted that whole thing. Hapawate, yo, if you out here, I got a full Lunchables for you.
The fucked up thing is there's like probably only one Hapawate out there.
Multiple flavors you can pick.
There's probably only one Hapawate like out there in existence.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to him right now.
Find its
trying
way
to give him a Lunchables of his own.
Yeah, fuck him, man.
We're sending Lunchables his way right now.
If you're out there, let me know where you're at. DM me or something. I'll get you a Lunchables, dog.
Fuck
and I'll make sure it's an all cheese one. It's all different forms of cheese.
Custom you got Lunchables. Your Colby Jack. You got your pepper jack.
Shredded
mustard.
A stack of sliced.
Yeah, he's just gonna eat it all like a fucking savage in one bite.
He's gonna make it into one big ball of cheese, bro. Oh my god, I'm dead.
Yeah, fuck
Oh my
Hopawate,
god,
man.
it's real now. It's real. It's real now. It's a real thing.
The monster ball cheese monstrosity.
The fucking Lunchables cheese glob.
Jesus. Well,
Yeah. That sounds like a cheesy 80s horror movie.
Bro, you know, if I make it myself, I'll eat it. But if Hopawate's hands are on it, he can have that one.
yeah, I ain't fucking with Hopawate. He did the my germs. That's the whole his whole thing. Fucking piece of shit.
Oh,
I want
my
it straight from the man.
Shouts out Hopawate. Shouts out.
Damn. He's probably like some Indian chief now. I don't know. That's like a
He wasn't Indian.
chieftain
He
sort
wasn't
of
Indian.
name.
Shit just got real.
He wasn't an Indian. That's hella racist. It does sound like a
my
Native
God.
American name, maybe, I guess.
I didn't want to make any assumptions.
Yeah.
I had no idea where that name came
Yeah.
from.
I'm gonna
I've
leave it.
never heard that
I'm
name.
gonna make it ambiguous. I'm just gonna not say.
He's just
Because-
an entity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just an entity. He's his own
He
thing.
is
He's Hopawate.
Hopawate.
Yes,
I got it from the garbage. This fucking snowstorm, dude. What a piece of shit.
living his best.
Dude, living the best life.
I'm like, oh, that looks great. Where did you get that? From the garbage.
Big garbage.
Wait, you took the bite first after
No,
he said
no,
that.
no. I didn't take a bite. No.
Oh damn.
I didn't
That
take a
would've been
bite.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Fuck,
Oh
man.
my god.
All right. Well, I think we're pretty much wrapped up for this week with the 3Daddy podcast. We went through our 3 topics pretty well. And yeah, I wish I had a little more time, but I feel like my ass is starting to fucking give out on me from ripping
It's
ass.
Hopawate.
Yeah. Hopawate is coming back up. All the Hopawate is coming back. The visions of Hopawate.
talk.
I'm gonna go on Facebook and look him up and see if I can find this guy so I can
Oh
show you
my
guys.
god.
Wait, please.
Okay, yeah. I won't I
Oh,
was gonna
yeah, dude.
say his last name because it's gotta be as crazy as his first name, but
Yeah.
I won't make you do that.
Oh my god. I don't know his last name.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
I
that
can't
was
remember it.
He's
Yeah,
but I will tell you this, he's the only Hopawate.
yeah, he's the
Yes.
only
Can
one.
be only one.
There could be only one, and he sits upon that throne.
Oh my god. Awesome.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure having you guys again, man. The 3Daddy podcast. We're legit
Yes.
now. If you want to support us and help this podcast grow, you know, and right now everything's coming out of my wallet. So if you want to help us grow, subscribe to the Patreon, click down in the links below, give us some support, share the podcast, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram. Just give us love, positive comments, and fucking or negative comments, or if you're Hopawate, comment. So
Yeah, if you're Hopawate, like I said,
Yeah.
man, I'll get you a
Hopawate
Lunchables,
is
bro.
a special guest.
this one's for
Lunchables on
Hopawate.
this one's for Hopawate. He would be a horrible guest. That
Shouts
guy
out
has
to
a
you,
fucking
Hopawate.
the personality of like he's like Plank
His
from
name is
fucking
Hopawate.
Ed, and Eddie.
His name
Damn.
is Hopawate. That's a personality in itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
for
that's the
real.
most. That's the
It makes
mo-
up for the lack of personality.
That's as
Exactly, you know?
interesting
It's like an oxymoron
as he gets.
almost, you know? It's like the exact opposite of what you would think. Who knows?
Yeah, that's as interesting as he gets. Fuck Hopawate. 3Daddy
We
out.
love you, Hopawate.
Fuck Hopawate.